Small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rankum. It's going to be a really fun one today. We're going to be talking about Ryan Gosling. We've got a great bunch of people here. We've got JD. JD, how's it going?
It's going. I'm actually looking really forward to talking about, Ryan Gosling. I was looking back at his filmography before, we filmed this, and I'm like, I'm kind of, because it's Ryan Gosling, you think he's done so many movies, but he's actually done like probably less than 30 movies. So I'm very interested to see what the variations and what our list is going to be.
Yep. Also here we got Jonathan. Jonathan, how's it going?
Doing well. I watched about 4 or 5 Gosling movies, 4 of them for the first time, one made an addition to my list. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting discussion talking about his varied filmography. And he's come a long way since Remember the Titans. So yeah, we're going to have some fun.
And last but not least, we've got Paige. Paige, how's it going?
I mean, we're talking about my future husband, guys, so of course I'm so excited to be here. I love this man. He's so beautiful inside and out. So I just can't wait to see what everyone else has on their list, because I think my list is pretty golden. So
we may have one more person join us. He was having technical difficulties earlier, but that being said, JD, what is the first movie you're going to bring up?
So I think the first movie I'm going to bring up is The Big Short. I love this movie. I really like it a lot. And yes, I think there could be some debate of how big Ryan Gosling's role is in this, but like he's such a pivotal role. He brings in like Steve Carell's group into kind of like this kind of whole game that Christian Bale's character has started. And I whenever he's on screen, I just can't take my eyes off him on The Big Short. So yeah, I think The Big Short is my first choice.
Jonathan, what do you say about The Big Short?
It's a really good movie. I rewatched this movie, and this was one of my 5. This holds up really well, despite with what's going on right now regarding inflation. A little similar to it, but it's a very well balanced film. I think this is the best out of his 3 McKay films, in balancing both the satire and the drama. I think he does a good job of explaining the terms from the financial terms that alludes to the crisis or the build-up to the crisis. And Gosling is very good in this movie, especially with his exchange with Carell. So yeah, I have The Big Short on my 12, and
Paige, what do you say about The Big Short?
that's like one of the few I actually have not seen from start to finish. So I don't have really much to say, unfortunately, about it. I mean, I know it has like great reviews and such like that. Like I said, though, I don't really know much about it. Besides, I mean, it was like nominated. So, I mean, I would put it on the list. I don't know his performance in particular within it, but I know it's like a solid list, and that supporting cast is just, wow, chef's kiss. So.
I'd rewatched this. I'd watched this for the first time a few weeks ago when we were talking about Steve Carell movies. And The Big Short is great. It's just one of those movies that I enjoyed. It's going to be an easy yes for me. There's not much more I can say about this that everyone else hadn't said. But so The Big Short does make this list, and we go over to Jonathan.
Okay. This is an easy one for me because this is one of my favorite movies of the 2010s and my favorite movie of that year in 2017. And I'm going to nominate Blade Runner 2049. This blew the socks off of my expectations because Blade Runner is a very good movie, and I didn't know what to expect with 2049. I know Denis Villeneuve was coming out hot with Sicario and Arrival at the time, so I was kind of being apprehensive a little bit, because Blade Runner is a big big film in which it was a cult following. And then 2049 came out, saw it in the theaters, and it's and it's gorgeous, fantastic. I think it deals more with this story better than the first film. I think Ryan Gosling gives a very underrated performance. I think a lot of people talk about Harrison Ford and Ana de Armas more than Ryan Gosling, and so, but Gosling is very good here, as a muted replicant Blade Runner, searching for clues alluding to the investigation and also to Deckard. So, yeah, Blade Runner 2049. It's a great movie.
Paige, what do you say about Blade Runner 2049?
I mean, it's definitely on my list. I would give it a go, yes. I mean, he goes toe to toe with Harrison Ford. And I mean, if you can lead a film with that man, I mean, you're doing something right. And I feel like that movie is definitely underappreciative of, like, especially with like the effects of it. I think it's just like a beautifully shot film. I think Denis cannot do anything wrong, at least as of right now. So, yeah, I definitely put this on this list.
Denis V and Roger Deakins. Those two together.
Yeah, I'm one of those ones that I'm not overly fussed about the original Blade Runner. I do not know which kind of the original Blade Runner I saw, but when I saw Blade Runner 2049, I've seen that. This sort of blew me away because it made me kind of appreciate the original a little bit more, and it's just one of those ones that I didn't see myself liking a lot. But I know a lot of people are really mixed on Denis Villeneuve, whether it's his style over substance or that. I know some people who really don't like Denis Villeneuve movies, and will say that Sicario is the best one.
I think there's more people that like Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I know a lot more people that like his later stuff, but yeah, I do know at least one or two people that are the opposite. Anyway, JD, what do you say about Blade Runner 2049?
I don't think my vote matters, but I'll just say my thoughts anyways, because I feel like it will bring some interesting. This was the one off stage that I was saying, I know a lot of people really like this movie. And I want to preface my comments. I love Denis Villeneuve. I've struggled with this one. I feel like, I feel like there are like two different movies in this. Like I feel like like everything involving the investigation, like up to the point where he goes to Las Vegas, is one movie. When the card enters the picture, I feel is a completely different movie. Like it was a trilogy completion kind of thing. Like, but then Denise decided he was only going to do two. It again, I know that's not true, but that's how I feel it's like two different movies, and that's where I struggle with it. But Ryan Gosling gives an amazing performance. In the first half, I really do like. And I don't think there are 11 movies better than it. So I would probably say yes, just based on that.
And Jonathan, you just joined us, but what do you say about Blade Runner 2049?
This is the first one they brought up?
The other one on the list is the Big Short. We only 2 movies in so far, so...
Okay. Sorry about that. You can blame my laptop right here.
Right.
It's like 2 minutes late.
It's all good.
Yeah. Okay. Before children. Hello, everyone. All right. 2421. Yeah. I will get this a yes, actually, because the reason is so because if you see way in the background here, I have 2 posters of Blade Runner 2049 way over there. One featuring Ryan Gosling, and the other one's Harrison Ford in it. And plus, for this special occasion, I got these 2 special commemorative pops of it because I love that movie so much. And
wow,
yeah, exactly. And
great timing.
Thank you. I will give this a yes. And not only is a great movie along with it, and it's really sort of believes that if you believe in that world back in 1982 with this. The first one came out, and this one was a great companion piece compared to it. So I'll get this movie a yes.
One more thing about the movie, though. I mean, the two best scenes in the movie for me have to do with him and De Armas, in my opinion. I think one has to do with a threesome, which is like it's very gorgeous visually. Like this is fantastic and just emotional. And the second one, it's just him looking at Joy. Just just looking
Where
at
he sort of has his breakdown, basically.
kind of. Yeah, he breaks down a little bit in his own way.
Yeah,
it's just
fantastic. Funny enough, you mentioned that. I used that GIF was sort of my reaction. That it's all about top. I used that GIF reaction when the Nationals offer a lot of money to Juan Soto and still rejects it. That would be personally my reaction to that. So it was just pissed off on that. Sorry. So I used that as an example. So thanks to that movie to use my aggression on that.
Right. Paige was the first movie you're going to bring up.
I mean, I'm going right for the fences because I think his best film, hands down, is Drive. I mean, that movie is just like a visually stunning, action-packed art house film. I mean, Cliff Martinez. That is my favorite soundtrack to any film, at least in the 2010s. I'd say the 2010s. I think that soundtrack is amazing. I own it on vinyl. I love it so much. Like most of those songs are in my Spotify playlist. Like his performance, that man. One, his character name is Driver. His character doesn't even really have a name. Excuse me. I mean, his performance makes me choked up. That's how it is. He barely has any dialogue within the film. It's just like the emotion within his eyes and everyone around him just makes him blossom in that film. And I mean, it's just like hyper stylized with like action, violence, and just like beautiful visuals. I mean, to me, that movie is just chef's kiss. Mwah. So beautiful. And I mean, in every film, Gosling's great to look at, but especially this one. So,
Jonathan, what do you say about Drive?
Which one? Which Jonathan?
Jonathan Peck.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna figure that come not to happen. All right. I agree with Paige. And funny enough, this is where I was gonna bring up this movie if I come up next. So, thank God you brought that up. And I'll get yes to Drive. It's not only one of his best films, it was probably the best photographic films in the 2010s so far. And it's just really it's a beautiful looking movie, the direction by Nicholas Winding Refn. And it's basically like, not say minimum dialogue, but it's sort of like, mainly with him, it's just sort of like really basically, let's just say sort of the emotions went throughout the movie along with it. Not say motions, but it's like more composure throughout when he was behind the wheel, outside the wheel. So, and plus, it led to some great Valentine by Albert Brooks along with that. So, plus on the movie with that. And this movie will get a yes from me for Drive.
Yeah, I literally just finished watching this for the first time, like seconds before we went live. But yeah, this is a very like visually stylized, great movie. I'm not gonna lie, I had trouble understanding what was going on at times, but Ryan Gosling's performance, I think, was captivating and really good in this movie. So I'm going to go yes on Drive. JD, what do you say about Drive?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a potential yes around the board. Especially, I love, there are some his dynamic with the supporting cast, I think, is vastly underrated. Like his relationship with him and Albert Brooks, like how him and Albert Brooks are buddy, and when he has to kill him, he knows he has to kill him because everything's gone to crap, and he knows he has to do it, and he's like so heartbroken. And then also his relationship with Bryan Cranston too is like his mentor. Like there's so many different fascinating relationships in this film that and it's surprisingly short too. It's like 90 minutes, but it's the pace is like it's so like slow moving, and like it's like it really like builds the tension, and it really uses that 90 minutes to its advantage. So it's yes.
Caro, what do you say about Drive?
I think the shirt speaks for itself because I love the movie. It's 100% yes. At points, I felt like watching a 1970s crime film. It takes its time. It requires patience with developing the characters and the storylines, and it's not an easy film to solve because almost every character has their flaws. So maybe except Carey Mulligan, I think that's the only person. But yeah, it's a great film. It's one of my favorites of the 2010s. Again, 100% yes.
Smart decision, Boots.
What? Pick, what is the first movie you're going to bring up?
Okay. The first Gosling film I want to bring up, Driver's already been taken, so my second Gosling film I want to bring this up is basically the first movie I actually saw for the very first time this morning. It was actually the funny thing when I'm starting like Gosling films. I pretty much saw almost all of his filmography except for one which sort of was well known. I'm gonna pick Lars and the Real Girl. Actually, I watched this on demand this morning, just a couple hours before I was prepared for the math, and I thought the interesting sort of him basically, sort of a loner, basically trying to get someone with it, and he basically dates with this blob doll along with it, and it. I was watching. It was a little bit weird to sort of do that. And even the people around him is like a little bit weirded out. But the way he sort of makes his love and look affection about it, not only is just sort of weirdly, not gonna say charming about, but it's also like really sad at the same time along with it. So, and I was very intrigued with the film along with it. So I would give my nominations for Lars and the Real Girl.
Yeah, this is one that I had feeling was going to come up at some stage. I tried to find it to watch this week, but I couldn't find it, so I haven't seen it. JD, what do you say about Lars and the Real Girl?
This is actually one of the ones I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of his movies, but I have not seen this one. I know a lot of people, speak highly of this movie and love it. I think that's also why it's kind of when people talk up something so high, like it's that also like you kind of it kind of like, oh, I'll get to it, and then you never really get to it. So I'm kind of in a similar boat about it. I have not seen it.
Caro, what do you say about Lars and the Real Girl?
I have held off of this movie for many years, and I watched it yesterday, first time. This was one of the 2 new additions to my top 12. This is a really good movie, surprisingly, because the concept with him having a romance with a sex doll, it just seemed weird to me.
Yeah.
But in addition to his performance and Patricia Clarkson's performance as a therapist, she's fantastic. I think director Craig Gillespie does a very good job in balancing the humor and the humanity in this story, because he could have easily made it a one-joke film, and it could have been tiring easily, and I could have hated that movie. And also, it could have been like a sappy film, which everybody basically pats his back for 90 minutes constantly, and I would still hated that movie. Kind of what I felt about a little bit about Chachi Real Smooth in the third act. But I digress. I know I see a page. I know.
Nonsense.
But I did like that movie. But anyway,
Love it. Number one.
Lars and the Real Girl, though, it is a really good movie. It did not get me emotionally in the last 10 minutes, but psychologically is a really good breakthrough. And the ending is great. I like the ending in the last shot of the film. So, yeah, I will go with Lars and the Real Girl. Yeah.
Which means, Paige, it's all on you. Does Lars and the Real Girl make this list?
It is on my top 12 list. I mean, kind of what the driver just explained, that you have Greg Gillespie who directed it, which he's done like a lot of like comedies, like satire films, but what he kind of brings to the table with this is more like a psychological, but the film does have like the humor within it. And I mean, yeah, the whole gimmick and joke is, this odd man falls in love and has a relationship with the sex doll. but it's kind of more than that. I don't know. In his Gosling's performance, he like swung for the fences for this one. He transformed himself, like he gained weight for it. He just like he stepped out of his comfort zone of playing like the attractive man and playing like the oddball kind of in a sense. And I give him a lot of props for doing that. So of course this movie's on my list.
Lars Nurgle does make this list, and it's on me. And those that know me know I like my musicals, so I'm bringing up La La Land. I have no idea how this is going to go because I know it's a really polarizing movie, but look, I'm one of those ones that I really do like La La Land. The fact we could have got Emma Watson and Miles Teller in this, I'm kind of curious about what that version would have looked like. But Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone have a really good chemistry, and them going together in this really worked. And I actually quite like their singing too. Like it's what I get that a lot of people's like, oh, you should get actual singers to do the singing. You're doing a musical and all that. For me, it doesn't matter too much because I like it. I think it puts a new style of realism to the musicals. If people are supposed to be good singers, then yeah, get real musicians. But if they're not supposed to be good singers and just sort of like real people sort of on a set, then I kind of like the realism of having real people doing the singing because they're not supposed to be perfect singers in the first place, and it's one of those ones that I really like when they do this. But it's one of those ones that it made me appreciate some classic Hollywood. It actually got me to get more interested in trying to seek out more and more classic movies. Just that I really like that style. So yeah, JD, what do you say about La La Land?
It's a yes. I also really like that movie. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling just kind of their chemistry just kind of oozes off the screen from like kind of the first moment they kind of lock eyes at each other. It is at the restaurant. Like I could watch another 2 hours of them of those two characters together. The only scene that I kind of scratch my head at a little bit and roll my eyes a bit is when Ryan Gosling is explaining jazz. But other than that scene, I love this movie. So yeah.
But Caro, do you like jazz?
I like some jazz. I like a little bit of jazz. As to this movie, okay, musicals are not my forte. I don't know, just people like jumping up and seeing something, literal stuff just drives me nuts, especially recent years. But last year though, the musical genre was like it came to life last year, and I liked almost all of them. But with this movie, this is 100% yes. I think this is a great musical because it really surrounds the two of them going into their own paths, and they're both struggling. And I think I would not have loved that movie if it were for the ending. I think that ending really was the capper, because if it were the nice, happy-go-lucky ending, then I don't know if it would have worked for me. But no, La La Land is a great time. The opening just seals it off. It just blew my socks off with the freeway scene. Although I don't think any person would try that in real life.
All the time in LA, you didn't know that?
So many accidents. A lot of subpoenas. But La La Land is a great movie. I don't think it was the best picture for 53 seconds that year. Even Moonlight, I think there are two other movies better. But no, it's a great film, La La Land.
Paige, what would you have said about La La Land?
Yeah, I mean, it's on my list. I'm not the biggest musical fan as well. But for me, like the performances and the story within La La Land is what captivates me to enjoy it so much, because it is two artists like struggling and trying to figure out what they want to do kind of in life. And I don't know, I found that really beautiful. And I mean, Gosling and Stone's chemistry is just like through the roof. they've done 3 movies together for a reason because they're just undeniable together. So yeah, this is definitely a yes for me. Like seeing him do his jazz hands. So.
Yeah. And Peck, what would you have said about La La Land?
I would give it a yes, although I do agree on JD's point. My little tiny qualm with the film is sort of like basically a white guy who's basically saved jazz along with it, even though basically a real transient little piano by John Legend basically helped him out along with it. So that's nitpick about part aside. I like the film, and I'll be more full disclosed. I don't go oogle gaga with it with the movie or pretend I want to make out with it, but I actually love more the directing more in the film because it was just mainly the opening shot in the highway. They actually closed out a real highway to perform that sequence in the film, so I really appreciate based on that. And you, funny enough, Malka mentioned earlier about the original 2 leads on the film, though. I think of not only they kind of was like kind of avoid the dodge a bullet. And you mentioned, funny enough, you mentioned I think it was one of you, some of the singers can't sing very well. They kind of I prefer them as it is. Would prefer the original along with that. Just thank God that never happened. So it is a May. So I will get yes from La La Land.
Yeah. Damien Chazelle did a great job directing.
Yeah. But JD, be back to you. What is the next movie you're going to bring up?
So I'm going to throw a curveball. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to choose Fracture. It is it's a small little thriller with Ryan Gosling and Anthony Hopkins. It's a really tight, really fascinating thriller. So basically, what it is, Ryan Gosling plays a hotshot lawyer. He's a shoo-in for like a partnership at his law firm, and they basically Anthony Hopkins is accused of attempting to murder his wife, and they got a confession. He bets his whole partnership on it. And Anthony Hopkins decides to be his own lawyer and plead not guilty. From there, it's this 2-hour tete-a-tete between Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Hopkins and Anthony Hopkins, and I just love that movie. So yeah, that's my pick.
Caro, what do you say about Fracture?
This was the last movie I watched with Gosling. Okay, so I like the movie more because of Hopkins than I did with Gosling. I think Gosling's accent, Gosling's imitation of, and I saw another review of this movie of Giovanni Ribisi. Like, that's an interesting comparison. It did take me out a little bit in the end, but it was all right. But Hopkins really steals the show. I liked the opening really well with the murder and its build up to the investigation. The investigation does go a little Law and Order episodic for me at times. It just becomes generic. And then the ending, implausible, but entertaining. So it was kind of a fun little twist. It's very detailed in how they build it up to that end, to that point. But I'm giving it a slight no because I think it's just a little generic for my taste. Even though, yeah, I think Fracture is a good movie to stream. I think if you want Hopkins and Gosling go head to head, yeah, this is a good movie. Even though I wanted more scenes of that. I think there was a lot of scenes with Gosling and Rosamund Pike, which really took me out of the movie. I think Pike was just there, just you know what's coming with between those two. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a slight no.
Paige, what do you say about Fracture?
I actually have not seen it, so at least I don't think I have. So I'm out of the equation for this one.
Peck, what do you say about Fracture?
I'll give it a no because I hadn't seen it, so I got nothing to add on that one.
Yeah, I also haven't seen it.
I do recommend it. I recommend it.
Yeah, no, I feel
it's a lot of fun. Is it, like Caro says, a bit generic? Yes, but I still think it's a lot of fun. And I think on that level, if you're looking for a fun time, I think that's why I brought it up.
But with that being said, Caro, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Okay. All right. I'll nominate. This duo is just it's fantastic, and you know what? I wish there were another sequel in the works, but I know it's not going to happen. It's too bad because I'm going to nominate The Nice Guys.
You never say never.
Yeah,
We don't know that.
I don't think it made enough money to for it to be developed, but let's see. We'll see. But like you said, Paige, never say never. But no, this is a very fun movie. I was meaning to get to it, to rewatch it, to see if it holds up. I haven't seen it in about a few years, but it's a blast from beginning to end. When you have him, both Crowe and Gosling working alongside together, their chemistry is off the charts, and it is fun. You're just having fun with them and being immersed in that atmosphere, and alongside with the murder. And also, I want to shout out the girl that plays his daughter, Angry Rice.
Yeah, she is awesome. I never remember her name either. She is phenomenal as his daughter in that
she's
film.
Phenomenal. She has a very funny rapport with Gosling, as she's very smart, and also she sometimes takes care of him. Like, she's the provider on scenes, and that's funny. And I think she drives him in one scene.
Yes.
Yeah, but this is a fun movie. I liked it. It has that Shane Black script. Goes quick. Yeah, a little problematic at times, but also Matt Bomer is scary in that movie. He's scary, and also Margaret Qualley is good in it. So yeah, The Nice Guys. Yeah, it's just a very good time, and it's a rewatchable film, in my opinion.
Paige, what do you say about The Nice Guys?
I mean, I watch this movie all the time when I'm just bored. I love this movie. Shout out to my boy Ethan Irwin, who produced this film. It's phenomenal. I mean, to me, I think it's one of the best buddy cop films that we've seen, at least in a very long time. I think it's, if you ever made a top 12 buddy cop film, this would have to be at least, to me, number 1 or 2 at least. But yeah, I mean, the script's amazing. I mean, the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe is just like irresistible. It's just the way they perform off each other is just amazing. And who knew Ryan Gosling could be so funny? And I feel like this role really shined for him to show that he really has comedic chops. So hell yeah for this movie.
His scream.
Yes. Or when he punches through the glass and he looks at his hand like, oh my God. Blood. That's a lot of blood.
I believe he prefers Mr. Irwin.
Oh, sorry, guys.
But Pick, what do you say about The Nice Guys?
I sorry, I keep thinking about that scene. I will give. Okay. I will give it a yes. I've seen this movie in theaters, actually. A few people have actually seen it in theaters. I got a Texas Scrub in my ticket binder from that film, and I loved it when I saw it first. I watched it with my pops, and I laughed hysterically throughout the mayhem throughout the movie. My favorite part of basically, he puts a gun at Russell Crowe when he was sitting in the bathroom, and the cigarette just randomly just falls off. It just scripts around along with it. It would just trying to be tough and a little demanding along with it. It was just nothing along with it. And also, it might be the funniest he's ever done with it. I know he's been like rom-coms before that, but this is maybe the funniest he's ever been in. And I was waiting for maybe more comedies or one more comedy out of it after I saw the film along with it. So I like the sort of the 70s flavor to it, and when they go into downtown along with it. So I will give yes for The Nice Guys.
Yeah. I really like Nice Guys. I rewatched this recently because I hadn't seen it in a while. And as much as I would love a sequel to this, I think Russell Crowe's too busy taking off Chris Hemsworth's clothes. But that being said, The Nice Guys is really good. And it's an easy for me. JD, what do you say about The Nice Guys?
Oh yeah, it would have been a yes for me. It was on my list. I from the opening moment when Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe first meet each other in that bathroom stall, and he breaks his arm and he screams. Ryan Gosling's scream in that movie is just they it breaks his arm. I just yeah
Oh,
that
one.
movie is that thing is so that the scream was like you didn't need that scream, but the scream just kind of exemplifies how painful that kind of arm break looks. And then also Kim Basinger is the femme fatale of the movie. Like, she makes a really good femme fatale. And how the automotive companies tie into this kind of big mystery, the big three. I love this movie. I do. I'm like everybody else here. They needed to make a sequel for that film. It just didn't do good enough.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah, also an LA Confidential reunion between Crow and Basinger. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if they managed to do a sequel just for like streaming service or something.
HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Paige, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
So for me, I'm gonna like change the vibes a little bit, guys, because it definitely is a little bit of a downer of a film, but I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Half Nelson. I think that performance is so jarring of Ryan Gosling as a heroin addict slash like history like junior high teacher, basketball coach, and he just like forms an unlikely friendship with one of his students, and he tries to mentor her while he's going through his own struggles and battles. And I'm pretty sure he was nominated as well for this movie for best actor. I mean, to me, he's just amazing in it. The movie like makes you feel uncomfortable at times because of what's going on and what you're seeing and stuff. But man, this guy can act, and I think this movie really put him on the maps for others to be like, this guy's gonna be something big one day. So Half Nelson. Right answers only, guys. What you got?
Pick, what do you say about Half Nelson?
I always see Half Nelson once, and I do agree with Paige is saying it's a really uncomfortable film to watch, and it felt a little jarring at points. So I only seen it once though, so I'll give it a 10 of yes because he's great in the film, and basically when he has to balance these two things along with it, so I will give it a yes.
But yeah, I watched this for the first time this week. This is one that I saw that I've always wanted to see for this. And yeah, I think it's a great good movie. It's definitely one of those ones that's not an easy watch. I think it's also one of those ones that really hits home as well, and it definitely shows that Ryan Gosling can do just sort of any type of movie, just easily find his groove in it. So yeah, I'm going to give this a yes. JD, what do you say about Half Nelson?
Yeah, I'll also give it a yes. Like Jonathan, I've only seen it once, but that's intentional. Because again, it is such an uncomfortable movie to watch that but he gives such a great performance in it. Like it's and the friendship that Paige brought up with his like student, his junior high student, is probably one of the most sweetest yet most messed up relationships you'll ever see on screen. And
Can I just bring up the scene when they're dancing together?
yes.
That scene made me feel so uncomfortable watching it. And I think he realized he was like, oh, I'm like grinding with my student who's like my mentor. I'm mentoring. It was just it's such a weird scene. And he's also trying to mentor her as he's buying drugs off from her brother. Just insane.
Yeah. It's a messed up relationship. And there's a scene where they talk about how messed up it is. And I'm like, that's an amazing scene where they talk about how messed up it is. It's an amazing movie. But again, it's just like one of those ones is like you said, Paige, is like you don't want to watch it too often because it's
Yeah, for your mental health, don't watch this movie a lot, guys.
Yeah.
But it's worth the watch.
it is once.
Yeah, just one time. That's enough.
And Caro, what would you have said about Half Nelson?
I also watched this for the first time. It's a good movie with a great performance. And I'm going to set aside the friendship because that is the foundation of the film. It is. I think this is basically, and I'm quoting myself, like, it's an unsentimental, nonchalant portrait of a lonely man on the crossroads between being an inspirational, good human being and a lost, ruffled drug addict. And it could have been like one of those corny, inspirational teacher films. I mean, look, I like Stand and Deliver and a couple other movies, but no, but this is a different approach to it because he's a flawed character, and yeah, he has a lot of problems outside of his school life, and because people are looking up to him, the kids are looking up to him. I think you're alluding to a scene. This is my favorite scene of the movie between Gosling and Anthony Mackie, who plays the drug dealer, in which they're confronting each other about her being staying away from Mackie. And yes, that could have ended in a very conventional way, like in a fist fight, but it ends sort of in an ambiguous manner. But we see the next shot that he's intoxicated. So it's worse for him than it is for Mackie. But yeah, it's a good movie. I don't think I would watch it again. But yeah, I would give it a yes as well. Yeah, this was on my list.
And if that Half Nelson does make this list, Peck, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Okay. Okay, the next Gosling film I want to bring up. All right. Well, I kind of mentioned earlier that sort of like before like the Nice Guys has more rom-coms. I'm gonna mention one of his rom-coms on the list. So just more fun ideas. I'm put Crazy Stupid Love on the list. So and I really enjoyed this film a lot more I did, and we watched this film like around like 2 years ago, and I was like, I really enjoyed this movie more than I thought I was going to do because it's basically the film is mainly Steve Carell's film in the movie, but his rapport with Gosling in the film when he's trying to help him out, try and get back in sort of in day life after getting kicked out, it's really fantastic. And basically, he's sort of like very, and also his relationship with Emma Stone and Paige, you kind of mentioned earlier, basically have a great rapport with it. This is going to be a great foundation of that. So it's sort of like, and I like the ending of the film and sort of basically how he felt what happened there. So I will put my nomination to Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah, I really like Crazy Stupid Love. I think this is one of those movies that really work. I actually haven't seen this in a while. I was going to rewatch it if I had time, but I wanted to focus more on the ones I hadn't seen of Gosling's. But I really do like this movie. It's going to be yes regardless. JD, what do you say about Crazy Stupid Love?
I had a feeling this was going to come up. So I'll say this. I get it's a good movie. I get that a lot of people love it. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not a rom-com guy. That's just, it's just, I see it, I accept it. It is what it is. But I don't think it's going to matter. My no is going to matter. So go ahead, Carol, say yes, and tell me how stupid I am.
Caro, what do you say about Crazy Stupid Love?
Well, I need a few seconds to give him the stink eye.
Yep. Go ahead. I accept it.
Dude,
All right.
the stink eyes like this. Like that.
Yeah.
Stop with it.
Now I have to go eat a pizza and just become Gosling in a suit. That is probably one of the most random slow-mos in a movie ever. Eating a pizza. This is one of my favorite rom-coms, favorite movies. I was impressed of how much I liked that movie when it came out. I basically rented it from from Blockbuster. And I just watched it like, oh wow, this is a really good movie. I did not expect to fall in love with it as much as I did. But also, yeah, it's funny. There's a twist that that is done very well, very very well, and because there's a character. I don't know if we should spoil that twist though. That alludes to Emma Stone. And that was the question before I was watching. It's like, why are we following Emma Stone's character? And when that twist comes, it's like, okay, very clever movie. Yeah, but this is a movie where I think his comedic chops were on the map because this is the one that basically brought him to life. That year 2011, it was a great year for him.
Yeah.
I may bring one other one later. Maybe we'll see. I need to think about it, but it's this is a really good romantic comedy. This is a lot of fun, charming. Again,
Didn't Drive come out in 2011 too?
I'm sorry.
I think Drive did come out in 2011.
Yes.
Hill did that. Yeah. Holy shit.
There's another movie though, but I'll think about it. But no, but again, Gosling and Stone's chemistry are off the charts again. Dirty Dancing scene, it's very good. Yeah, Marissa Tomei is also very funny in this movie. Talking about the Scarlet Letter with Carell and Julianne Moore. There is one little problematic subplot, but I think that's dealt with okay. But no, I like this movie a lot. So yeah.
And Paige, what do you say about Crazy Stupid Love?
I mean, hell yeah, this movie is honestly, this is one of like my favorite movies of all times, and it's definitely like in my top 5 rom-coms. I mean, it probably makes like my top it's definitely within my top 50 like favorite films of all time. I love this movie. It's definitely in my top 5 rom-com films ever. I just love like the different if there's multiple stories within the film that all tie together very nicely, and I don't know, it's a really beautiful film. I can watch this movie whenever, and it will just put me like in a good mood. And just like the support, everyone in this movie is just great. Everyone does their part, and it's a lovely film. If no one has seen it, they need to go watch this movie. It's amazing. So yes, I don't know if I answered the question, but
with that, Crazy Stupid Love does make this list, and for my next movie, I'm going to go to another one that is not a very easy watch because it deals with themes of suicide and depression once again. I'm going for the movie Stay with Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts. This is one of those movies that's really tough to talk about just for the fact that there's a twist at the end, which I don't want to reveal. But I think Ryan Gosling's performance of this as this artist who is kind of depressed, but then he mentions that he hears voices and all that. It's just one of those. I think he portrays that kind of thing really well, and it's just one of those ones that I think is really good. And I think it might have been the movie that got him the role in Half Nelson, because this was literally a year before Half Nelson came out. So yeah, I think his performance in Stay is really good. I think even like Ewan McGregor, Naomi Watts, I think all that is really good. This is another one that I was really hoping to actually watch for this, but I didn't get around to it. But JD, what do you say about Stay?
I haven't seen it. It's one of the 30% I haven't seen. So I'm going to abstain, but I can't really say much about it because I haven't seen it.
Caro, what do you say about Stay?
I've seen it once a long time ago, and I don't really remember it, so I do need to rewatch it. Boy, yeah, I do remember that movie being a tough watch. Boy, I'm kind of curious what the Paige and Jonathan Peck is going to say, but I'm going to give it a slight no because I need to rewatch it. So, yeah.
Paige, what do you say about Stay?
I have not seen this film, so I have to abstain from the conversation because I could love this movie and I could also hate it, so I don't know.
Peck, what do you say about Stay?
Actually, to tell you the truth, I have seen one review of Stay, and then I see the movie of Stay. So, you know what I'm referring to. You can figure that out.
Chris Stevens.
Yes, he said made sort of an underrated film list. So, although I saw that review, I hadn't seen the movie to have it examined after he that. So, basically, I will go say no by default on that.
It's fine. But JD, we move that back to you. What is the next movie going to bring up?
If I recall correctly, he didn't get nominated for this movie, and I think it's a travesty that he didn't. First Man. He did not get nominated for First Man, and it's a very subtle performance. And I think with the Academy, they really like big performances, but I don't think that's necessarily fair. He is amazing, is Neil Armstrong, and this is an amazing movie. It's an amazingly shot movie. The space sequences are really amazing, and how they all the stuff about getting to the moon and all like the trials and tribulations. The relationship between him and his wife, with the actress who I can't recall, I'm blanking on the name.
Claire Foy.
Yeah, Claire Foy, she's an absolutely amazing actress. They're kind of how they're dealing with like their child's premature death, and how that kind of like makes him like just kind of stoic, and how that affects all his relationships. It's and also Corey Stoll is Buzz Aldrin. Their kind of tete-a-tete together is just super amazing. First Man's my choice.
Caro, what do you say about First Man?
Yeah, I'm looking at the best actor lineup, and in retrospect, I don't know why Viggo Mortensen was nominated for Green Book. I understand Malik at the time, but like I said, in retrospect, we had two better performances with Taron Egerton and Austin Butler. We'll see about Austin Butler. We'll see. But back to First Man. I really liked it. First Man is really good. It's a very... I will get why people will not like it. It's definitely not as flashy compared to La La Land or to Whiplash. It is my least favorite of his three films, but I think it's still a very good movie. It's just a patient film that deals more with the psychological traits of Neil Armstrong and his family and his journey than it is about space, even though we got a lot of space footage in the last 30-40 minutes of the movie, which is fantastic with the score and the visuals. And the ending is a very nice touch. To the end. Chazelle really knows how to end his films. I'm going to go with yes on this one. First Man is a really good movie, and I think I would have replaced Mortensen with Gosling for First Man, and yeah.
Paige, what do you say about First Man?
Well, I will say I think it is definitely my least favorite Damien Chazelle film. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I wasn't the biggest fan of this film. It just didn't catch me. I just thought Ryan's performance was just very bleak. I get that he was playing. It was an autobiography. He's playing Lance Armstrong, so he has to act. I just felt like his character didn't bring anything. It was just very quiet. I don't know. To me, I just didn't like the movie, so I just didn't like the performance, I guess. Not saying that he didn't give a great job of performing as Lance Armstrong. I just didn't like the film. So it's
Neil Armstrong, not Lance Armstrong.
Oh my God, why am I saying Lance Armstrong?
That's a very different movie.
That could have been so awkward.
Different Armstrong.
That's a very different movie.
Maybe that's why I didn't like it, guys. No. Thank God you caught that, because that just went over my head. Yeah, no, but maybe if he played Lance Armstrong, though, I'd like that performance. But I didn't like this performance as Neil Armstrong. So maybe that's just because that's Neil Armstrong and that's how he acts.
Yeah. Pick, what do you say about First Man?
I'm actually going to piggyback what Paige and Caro said about the film. It's my least favorite Damien Chazelle film. I think most of the majority will all agree with it. Although I do slightly agree with Paige, it does feel a little bit more dry in the movie, some instances, and I'm not saying it was bland. It just kind of feels a little dry, many instances. I think when I think about the film, I think about the directing again by Giselle, the score by I don't know who scored the film, but the score was fantastic, and the visual effects in the film.
Yeah, that those
And
are the three things that stand out in this film, not the
yeah,
performance. 'Cause the performance is so
Justin
yeah,
dry. Yeah.
yeah, and maybe you want to go performance wise, the only performance I kind of stand out in the film was Corey Stoll and Claire Ford in the film. Not majority him in the film, which I think that's the reason that's the reason I liked it, but not love it. But that being said, I'll give it like a tentative yes, based on some of the reasons I did like about the film about that. So even though he's not majority one of the best parts of it, oh, I will give it a yes for the rest of it though.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of in agreement. First Man is my least favorite Damien Chazelle movie. But that being said, I do enjoy the movie for what it is. Um, and for me personally, I actually did think Viggo Mortensen was deserving of a nomination for Green Book. I think he was good in that movie. I would have taken that Christian Bale. Look, partly because to me that performance was a lot more because of the makeup, as opposed to his performance. I probably would have put Taron Egerton in there somewhere, but I can't judge Ron Trove
That was the
to
next
actors
year.
to get
Yeah, that was
get
the
because
next
they
year.
haven't seen that.
That's a year later.
Yeah.
But that being said, that's going to be a yes for me for First Man. So yeah,
Oh boy.
Carrie, we go to you.
Oh boy. Okay.
How many we have left?
Three.
One, two,
Three.
three.
There's
You
one
already-
big omission on this one.
You already mentioned Big Short, right? You already mentioned
Yes,
it, right?
that was the first
Yeah,
one.
that was the first one that made the list.
Yeah.
Okay, got him.
Do I go sappy or do I go dark? Yeah.
I think I know which ones you got.
Maybe flip a coin about that. Maybe flip a coin. That's my advice.
I think someone else is going to bring the sappy one. No, I'll bring the dark one because I think this is an overlooked film, and I like this movie. Mostly that act. I think that's the best part of the movie, and I'm nominating The Place Beyond the Pines.
Oh
So this movie, okay, I described it at the time I was watching it for the first time. I thought it was overly ambitious. I think it was more reaching for its ambitions than it was for creating a whole story throughout these three acts. But the best act of the movie was Ryan Gosling's act about a stunt rider, a motorcycle stunt rider, wanting to support his family, but he has to do it through crime, and he has to help Ben Mendelsohn. I think he was the guy who had to help
Yeah.
Rob Banks.
Yep.
Okay, Rob Banks, and then he basically wants to support his ex-lover, played by his. I think, are they married or are they boyfriend girlfriend? I'm not in
Real life.
What, Eva
In
Mendes?
the film or real life?
Yeah, I think they're significant others. Yeah.
Okay, significant. Okay, Eva Mendes and their kid. So basically, their character and their kid to support them, and that is the best part of the movie. And boy, the marketing behind the movie, it really caught me off guard because after I watched the movie, I was like, oh, wait a minute, it's not about that. It's about the whole scope of that first act. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, there's two movies within one. This is two movies in one big movie.
Well, I think it's three movies. I think the third movie was the weakest part. But
yeah, true. Yeah.
But he's fantastic in the movie. I like Bradley Cooper in the movie as well. I mean, as a police officer who is pursuing Gosling, and then he has to deal with his own issues about. I think there was some corruption in the police.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that involved rest in peace, Ray Liotta. He always plays corrupt cops. But that, and then the third act involving. I like the third act. It's just, I don't think it ended. Well, it didn't really coalesce well with the two acts, even though the ending is nice. With Dane DeHaan and Emery Cohen, I think those are the two
Yes.
young kids.
Yes.
But The Place Beyond the Pines is a very good overlooked film by Derek Cianfrance, and Place Beyond the Pines.
Paige, what do you say about The Place Beyond the Pines?
I mean, you give me Ryan Gosling shirtless with a bunch of tattoos and like bleach blonde hair, rides and motorcycles. Fuck yeah. I mean, besides his amazing looks in this film, it's yeah, see, look at that. Damn. No, I mean, I love this movie. I actually think it's very underrated. I think a lot of people either dislike this movie or they really dislike it, and I don't think they know what they're getting into when they watch the film, because it is kind of like 3 films in one, in a sense, but all follow the same, like, within storyline. It's cohesive. But no, I love this film. I'm surprised this movie didn't get brought up way sooner. But yeah, hell yeah. This movie's awesome.
Pick, what do you say about The Place Beyond the Pines?
I did thought about it as the first one I could brought up, because if you look majority of the film, even though they have 3 acts, I think thinking of the movie, it's more Bradley Cooper's film throughout the majority of the film, though. I did thought about it, though.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, debatable on that one. But although I actually saw this like a few months back, which, funny enough, you mentioned Ray Liotta, rest in peace. I watched that in the Ray Liotta episode, which, fun fact, a little plug in. I was on that episode on it. A little plug on that. You take a look on it. Actually, I did mention that. So, look in there. And, well, although I will say this, let's just say, like, the first part of the film, let's just say the Ryan Gosling and Bradley Cooper's, let's just say, correlate along the line with it, without getting into details what happened inside the very much steps of the film. Let's just say sort of its process sort of felt majority of the film. So for me, I will give a tentative yes on it. Even let's just say Ryan Gosling does show up in the film, though. He's actually fantastic. He does present like sort of a grimy feel to it, play grit and dirt very well. Unless it's sort of a stuntman, we're trying to basically rob banks and a little bit grime along a little situation with Eva Mendes and his sort of his confrontation with her new boyfriend, Mahershala Ali, and
I forgot
basically,
I forgot he was in that.
yeah, he's in the film along with it, and I will give it a yes to for Place Beyond Pines.
And with that, Place Beyond Pines does make this list. I have not seen this movie. This is another one that, like, I was hoping to get to, I just couldn't find it anywhere. JD, what do you say about The Place Beyond the Pines?
Oh yeah, the reason I didn't bring this up is because I thought somebody else was going to bring it up, so I wanted to focus on something else. But yeah, this is a brilliant movie about how a series of actions reverberates across generations. I really like the kind of family saga aspect of this movie, and how, because these actions happen, without giving spoilers away, it caused a character to look at somebody else's, his son, a certain way, and then that caused certain other characters to look at other people certain other ways. It's interesting. It's such a fascinating movie. I really, really find this is a fascinating movie. And again, I didn't bring it up because I thought somebody else was, but it's a yes.
Paige, on to you. What is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Sorry, can you hear me? There we go.
Yeah.
The laptop's not charging, so I'm like trying to go as fast as I can to figure this out. For me, I mean, there's actually a few on here that I want to mention, but I know I'm not going to get another chance to, possibly. So, unless I just say no to all of you guys and you guys call me my friend. For me, I was actually just watching this movie, like right before we started, and I think this movie is great. It is another film by, I gotta make sure I say the guy's name right, Derek Cianfrance. Cianfrance, the guy that directed The Place Beyond the Pines, is Blue Valentine. I think this movie is amazing. His performance alongside Michelle Williams is just like flawless. it's a really good. It's probably not the romance film you guys are thinking I was gonna say, but someone better say that film or I'll be upset. But no, this film is just like beautiful. His performance is flawless. I mean, I'd fall in love with this man if I saw him on the streets just like she did. So, what do you guys think? Blue Valentine.
Pick, what do you say about Blue Valentine?
Do we have like 2 or 3 more spots left?
2 spots.
2.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll give it a yes for Valentine. I already seen this once, like a few years back, and it's a very raw film about relationships. Basically, it's a very much a raw film. What I would have expected with a type of film like this. So, I was very enthralled about the movie with him and Michelle Williams, and this is really sort of his best acting role around top 5 in my opinion. So, I was kind of contemplating it because I hadn't seen it in the last few years. So, I will give it a yes for Blue Valentine.
Yeah, I hired it out this week to watch. I just haven't got around to actually watching it. JD, what do you say about Blue Valentine?
Like Malcolm, it's one of the ones I haven't seen. It's look, I've been told that you have to be in a certain mood to watch it.
Yeah.
And I've never been in that mood. So it just hasn't happened. So yeah, I have to abstain. I can't talk about the quality of the movie. I'm sorry, Caro.
No, I think Carol's like that because he knows it's now on him to decide if it's making this list.
Yeah,
I'm very sorry, Caro. I'm very sorry.
Why. Every episode I come on, there's got to be one movie that I have to decide on that'll make the list because I have seen it. Okay, so that at the very least I have seen it. I've seen it once. I will not see it again. However, I have to respect its greatness because it is a brutally honest portrait of marriage and love. I mean, Cianfrance just basically switches back and forth the blossoming relationship and a crestfallen marriage. And both Gosling and Williams just gave 2 excellent performances. I mean, you could feel their souls in that film. Like, it's just
How was
raw.
he not nominated? She was, which I'm glad, but I think he should have been.
When did that come out? 2010, right? So
Hold on. Let me check.
Yeah, you check. But also, like,
2011.
It is
no,
2010.
2010?
2010.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on.
Yeah. Someone look up the best actor line for that. But that one, it's a painful film to watch, to conceive. It's realistic and profoundly sad. Oh my goodness, it's sad. It'll get you depressed after watching this film. Because this is forget
go ahead.
the title in the movie. Like, it's not a Valentine's movie at all. It's not Crazy Stupid Love. It's not La La Land. It's Blue Valentine. But it's a great film to watch, to experience one time, and kudos to you if you want to watch it again. But
Did today.
like the motel scene alone is like, that's a dark scene. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 100% yes because I respect its greatness again, and it belongs on the list, despite if you don't like enjoying watching the film.
I'm not saying this was sort of a joy to watch to begin with. So, like I said, it's very raw. And I got the Best Actor nominations. If Carol was asking, the nominees from that year were James Franco for 127 Hours, Jesse Eisenberg for Social Network, Jeff Bridges for
it would be
Javier
the
Bardem, and the winner is Colin Firth for King's Speech.
it will be the year after that. It will be the 2011 ones because it came out in 2010.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, no, that's
2010. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. No, that was the Oscars, but
Because Social Network came out in 2010, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. That's why I've got my weird.
That's your years mixed up. That was the Oscars where Frank and Halfway House.
Ooh, I
Who
didn't
do you
think
take
about what I
off
picked.
that though?
Nah, I don't know. That's a tough.
Even James Franco, which I
Good
know
list.
it's not so great to talk about him now, but back then that was a brilliant performance. Yeah.
Anyway,
At the
Blue
time.
Valentine. Great
At
movie.
the
You
time.
experience one time. But yeah, JD, you're right. You have to be in a mood to watch
See, I don't think you do. I mean, I was in a totally fine mood today, and I was just like,
it.
I want to watch this movie again. Like,
That's what I'm basically.
No, I kind of know now. I think I know now.
That's basically what I've heard. You have to be in a good mood to watch it.
But with that being said, Jonathan, also the funny thing is, funny the Blue Valentine and Place Beyond Fines got on the list one after each other is both the same director.
Yeah.
But Peck was the next movie going to bring up, was one spot left.
Okay.
One big omission.
Okay. I know that. How about this? I'm gonna mention this movie once, but I have a feel like the rest of you are gonna bring out this film. So like, you know what? I'm gonna mention just one movie on there. I figure I might get Say No, even though he's more of a supporting role in that movie. I feel like if this one's gonna say no, I feel like the rest of you is gonna bring that movie afterwards if I have to say no. So I'm just gonna be the one low man out. So it might be the last one and people will come back to me. I'm gonna say, from obvious reasons, silly reasons, Remember the Titans. And people forget he's in that movie and plays one of the football players along with it. Cesar was one of his first movie roles in the movie, and it was basically so along with it. So and that's why I'm so quick. Full disclosure: I live around Alexandria, Virginia, so a couple of miles of Women's High School, like a couple miles throughout right here I live. So I kind of know the story personally through and through, along with it. Even though I didn't go to high school there personally, but I really enjoyed the film all that much though. So it used to. Pretty much most of my middle school or high school years pretty much showed this movie almost constantly, even around board day, and we kind of enjoy the movie every time we watch it. So I just will give it one quick little shout out to Remember the Titans.
At least someone remembered the Titans, but I mean, this is one of those ones that is more of a supporting role in. I mean, I'm not that big on Remember the Titans as it is. I think it's fine. But yeah, so I'm gonna go no. JD, what do you say about Remember the Titans?
Yeah, I have to say no on a technicality because I really enjoyed the movie. I think it's a fantastic movie. Ryan Gosling is not who I remember it from it. I remember Denzel. I remember Hayden,
Hey, Pat's here.
Yeah, I just always butcher her last name, but her, I don't remember Ryan Gosling from it.
That's because he's in it for like 2 scenes.
It's correct. He's like in like 2. He's a very small role. So yeah, I have to say no.
Caro, what do you say about Remember the Titans?
All right, I'm in a difficult position. I love that movie. Look, the 2 scenes I think you were alluding to are, one is that locker room scene where they're saying "Ain't no mountain high enough," and I think the scene where he goes in for somebody else, and that's basically the most noteworthy scene there. You're right. It's really because Denzel, Hayden Panettiere, and Will Patton. Those are the 3 I remember from. And then there are 2 more players that I remember more from the other players. Maybe 3 because of Sunshine, because of the quarterback. Yeah. But I love the movie. But yeah, Gosling is a small part in that movie, so I'm gonna go no.
Paige, what did you have said about Remember the Titans?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great football movie, but like, no, his role is too small. I think he has more films in his filmography that he is a more profound role in the film that deserves more shout out than that. So,
yeah.
So no.
I just want to give it a shout out. That's all.
Hey, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
that's very good.
Yeah. But it's on me, and this is probably going to be the last movie I'm going to bring up. I'm going to bring up the most gangster movie he's been in. I'm going to bring up The Notebook.
Oh,
Oh. Oh. I
I
should
was like,
have nice
just
word for it.
gangster squad because you need to get out of here.
Gangster
Yeah.
Squad?
If you said Gangster Squad, I was just like, I'm afraid to leave.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
afraid to leave.
100%. I'm like,
God.
See, I did that. I knew what I was doing. Although I don't hate Gangster Squad as much as everyone else, but this movie is still higher than that. Look, I actually somehow managed to avoid The Notebook for the longest time. I actually watched it for the first time this week. But this is one of those ones that I didn't know what to expect because I knew that it's based on Nicholas Sparks' novel, and I know what people think of Nicholas Sparks' adaptations lately. Look, The Notebook was a good movie. And this is one of those ones that I think is really good. I think him and Rachel McAdams have great chemistry. And yeah, so The Notebook. JD, what do you say about The Notebook?
I feel like if I say no, Paige is gonna throw something at me from across the
I
screen. So I'll just say yes and won't elaborate anymore. So
Smart man. Smart man.
and I'll go to Caro.
Karen, what do you say about The Notebook?
Okay, remember I was choosing between sappy and dark? Well, The Notebook is the sappy one right there. Yeah, Nicholas Sparks adaptations, boy, there are a lot of bad ones. It's like watching myself tumbling down a cliff. That's what it feels like watching those movies. But this one is one of the very few good ones. And this is a really good movie because it works on Gosling and Rachel McAdams. I think their chemistry is really good. But also the one that is more that is stronger and more powerful is the. Okay, now we can spoil this one because this has been viewed by a lot of people.
It's 2004. Yeah. If you haven't seen this movie, shame on you. And I feel like a lot of men have not seen this movie unless they're like in a relationship. And I think no, that is so bullshit. This movie's for everyone. It's for
I
hopeless.
will say I have definitely seen the film.
Yes.
Yeah.
The film is for any hopeless romantic. You don't gender aside.
Yeah. Okay. James Garner and Gina Rowlands are Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams.
Mm-hmm.
That's the more powerful part of the film. And boy, when it's revealed that it is Allie and that she remembers everything, and she remembers who Noah is.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! I was surprised that I got a little teary during that moment. Like, jeez. And it worked, and they're dancing alongside a really beautiful song, and then obviously there's the ending, the inevitable ending. Yeah, I'm going yes for The Notebook. It's a real good movie. It's a wonderful romance based on their chemistry, and yeah, a couple of supporting actors as well: Joan Allen, James Marsden, and Sam Shepard. So yeah, this is a good movie.
With that, Notebook does make this list. The Page, what do you say about The Notebook?
I would say, let me speak about my man, because oh my god, this movie. I mean, it's not the first movie I saw Gosling in, but when I saw this movie, I was like, oh my god, if he's like this in like real life, like I just want to fall in love with this character now. Like such a hopeless romantic. I love the film. I mean, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. I'm like, oh my god. I cry. I have seen this movie countless times, and I cry every single time. This movie is it's beautiful. Yeah, it is. It has those romantic tropes to it. But yeah, I think it's the best Nicholas Sparks adaptation we've gotten. So
no question.
Yeah. So yes.
And Pick, what would you have said about The Notebook?
Okay, as someone who doesn't have a romantic relationship, past or present right now, I did saw this movie, and it's kind of a lonely and romantic myself. I will give it a yes. Is this happy? Yeah. But I do buy the chemistry, basically Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling in the film. So that's the movie lean towards you, and that's one of their strong suits. We'll give it a yes to Notebook.
But JD, did you have any honorable mentions?
No, I did not.
Kara, did you have any honorable mentions?
I have one. The Ides of March. I think it's a good movie. I think that's a good political drama thriller, directed by George Clooney. One of his few good movies. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's a very good, entertaining political drama with a great cast. So yeah, The Ides of March is basically my only honorable mention. I know one was going to bring up was Murder by Numbers. I have not seen
Yes,
it.
that was my honorable mention. I was gonna say it if
Go ahead, Paige.
if First Man didn't take the list, that would have been one of the ones I chose. That's the first movie I've ever seen Gosling in. I think it came out in like 2002, and man, he plays like a villain pretty damn well in that movie, and it's like chemistry, like Sandra Bullock's in it, and just like yeah, that movie's messed up, and I enjoy every ounce of it. So.
And Peck, did you have any honorable mentions?
Well, apparently, like hold on. I don't actually. This is pretty much I already kind of take care of most of Gosling's filmography actually. So that's pretty much all I can say about that. So Price is not long filmography as I expected.
I will shout out because I've seen it. It's not a good movie. All Good Things. Really, he's good as the villain in Murder by Numbers because I didn't think he was that good in All Good Things as a villain. I thought Kirsten Dunst was great.
That movie's odd.
But it's okay.
Yeah, gotta watch Murder by Numbers. I mean, it's early 2000s stuff. He dated Sandra Bullock because of that movie. So man's got game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah. Murder by Numbers was the only other one that I was going to sort of shout out. Like the only other movie that I actually watched for this was Only God Forgives, which I wasn't a big fan of.
That's his directorial debut. I haven't seen that movie either.
Oh no, that's Refn.
Yeah, that's
Only Gordon Refn was writing Refn again. Another one that was brought up is United States of Leland. But with that being said, it's time to get to the fun part of ranking the shortlist that we've got here. And the movies we've got on the shortlist, we've got The Big Short, Blade Runner 2049, Drive, Lars and the Real Girl, La La Land, The Nice Guys, Half Nelson, Crazy Stupid Love, First Man, Place Beyond the Pines, Blue Valentine, and The Notebook.
Great top 12.
Yeah, but JD, what movie do you have for 12?
Blue Valentine.
Caro.
Half Nelson.
Paige.
First Man.
Guys,
my laptop's gonna die, so you guys better disagree with me.
Although I like this film, he was one of my least parts of that movie.
I've got Half Nelson, so JD, Half Nelson or First Man, which one do you want at 12?
Well, I picked First Man, so it's going to be Half Nelson.
Wait. Oh, that's right.
Crazy guys. He was nominated.
It's a
I
really
said a good movie with a great performance.
Fools.
I had to choose between two. That was my two.
Yeah, after this it gets hard for me.
All right, Caro, what do you have for 11?
Don't worry, Paige. I got your back. First Man.
Page.
I'm so glad I didn't have to erase anything. First Man.
Peck.
First Man.
Good job, guys.
I'm sorry, Paige, I just didn't connect this movie as much as use the drive.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're gonna keep that for a while.
My vote doesn't matter still, but Blue Valentine.
But First Man's going to be at 11.
All right, now this gets tough.
So I kind of figured it was going to be there for a while, but Paige, what do you have at 10?
Oh shoot. I am gonna go with The Big Short, just because I've only seen pieces of the film.
Peck.
Wait a minute. That one guy, yes. Is that on the list or just?
Yeah, the Big Short's on the list. You probably won't see it because you jumped in after that.
Okay, the reason I asked because
Yeah.
it's not popping up there, so that's a little confusing.
Yeah, you can only see the private chat from when you joined.
I know, but it's just not
Yeah,
popping up.
that's
Okay.
all right.
All right. Sorry about that. All right.
Right.
I wrote the notebook.
Still got Drive, JD.
Still got Blue Valentine.
You know what?
Page.
I'm changing my choice.
Caro, what do you have?
Whoever brought up, you know what? The Big Short. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, he's a supporting performance. And yeah, you know what?
That's why I put it where it is.
You know what?
Now I.
Pick, what do you have for 9?
Hold on. Finish writing this down. All right. Place me on the Pines.
Drive, JD.
Jeez.
Actually, run mine yet. Still Blue Valentine.
Caro,
Blue Valentine.
Page.
I'm Lars and the Rail Girl, but whatever, guys. If you want to pick Blue Valentine.
I mean, I personally don't vote for movies I've never seen without this. I feel like I don't need to say it. JD.
Jesus Christ.
The Notebook.
Caro.
Hold on. Notebook.
Page.
Lars and the Rail Girl.
JD. Pick.
Still places me on the Pines, but okay.
So it's the Notebook.
Notebook. It will be.
Okay.
You boys are just not hopeless romantics, I guess.
I am a romantic. I just don't have any. I don't have any. All right.
JD.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Caro.
The Place Beyond the Pines.
Page.
Lars and the Rail Girl.
Pick.
Hold on. Trying to.
You erased it.
I wasn't finishing
Malcolm
it.
has Drive, so we're waiting for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Drive.
Place Beyond the Pines.
Place Beyond the Pines is going to be 7.
What do we got left? So we got
Okay.
Mines. What do we got? BR, Drive, Lars, La La Land, Nice Guys, Crazy.
Caro, what do you have for 6?
Lars and the Real Girl.
Page.
Lars.
Pick.
I wrote Blade Runner 2049.
Drive, JD.
Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, God.
It's on me. I'm, even though I'm avoid go for ones I've never seen. This is one exception I'm going to make because Blade Runner 2049 is really high on my list. So Lars on the Real Girl.
Yeah. It's properly placed there. Yeah, it's a sweet movie, but. Okay, top 5. Now this is tough. All these 5 are fantastic.
Oh, my handwriting's very neat with what I just wrote down.
Paige, what do you have for 5?
I have Blade Runner 2049.
Pick.
I had to erase. I wrote La La Land.
I've got Drive, JD.
I still have Blade Runner 2049.
Caro.
Malcolm, it's up to you, buddy. La La Land.
Oh my gosh.
Well, spoiler alert, one of those is my number one, so Blade Runner 2049.
Whoopie-doo.
That hurt.
Whoopie-doo.
That was my number 2. Come on.
Crazy Stupid Love, Drive, La La Land, and The Nice Guys on the left. Peck, what do you have for 4?
Still La La Land.
Still Drive. JD.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Caro.
La La Land.
Paige.
La La Land.
Oh man.
See, the good thing about not having to erase my board, I've got time to make these banners. Because I've still got Drive.
I still got Crazy
JD.
Stupid Love.
Caro.
The Nice Guys.
Paige.
Crazy Stupid Love.
And Peck.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay.
Now, it's this time, instead of going for number 2,
Ooh, so we just write down our number
and
1.
it's between Drive and The Nice Guys.
We write our number 1 down, right?
Yes.
I actually better remember to actually erase my board this time.
I know where he's going.
Yeah. I wonder what it is.
Yes, spoiler. It's a plot twist that I'm going to vote for the movie I've been trying to get lower. But Caro, what do you have for number 1?
Drive.
Paige.
Drive, baby.
Peck.
Drive.
Yeah.
The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
JD.
The Nice Guys.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
Nice
too.
Guys is
That was my number 1. That was my number 1 of the Gosling.
Honestly, the top 3, that's like my top 3 was Drive, Nice Guys, and Crazy Stupid Love. So I'm glad my top 3, at least for my personal list, kept the same.
But with that, just to recap our 12, at number 12 got Half Nelson, at 11 we got First Man, at 10 we got The Big Short, at 9 we got Blue Valentine, at 8 we got The Notebook, at 7 we got The Place Beyond the Pines, at 6 we got The Lars and the Real Girl, at 5 we got Blade Runner 2049, at 4 we got La La Land, at 3 we got Crazy Stupid Love, at 2 we got The Nice Guys, and number 1 we got Drive.
That's a great
What this
marathon.
D stands for, guys, not Detroit. For Drive.
But
Right.
with that being said, I've got the poll up on the Take View page for what you want next week's topic to be. But with that being said, JD, where can people find you online?
You can follow me at the at JD Domash. You can find all updates about my trivia stuff on those at that handle.
Caro, where can people find you online?
You can find me on all social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter at John Carroll 4, Instagram at Cinecaro, CINE.CARO, and also Letterboxd as well. Instagram, I'm gonna have another tournament coming up covering movies of 1982, and I'll also revisit.
Nice.
And I'll revisit my personal top 25 list of the 1990s. Because my other one got deleted. So I was like, you know what, let's revisit that decade according to the poll. And also, I guess now with the announcement on Full Metal, I'll play more trivia now with the point system. But this is a great episode. Thanks for having us on. And enjoy these Ryan Gosling films. This is a great list. This is a great top 12.
Paige, where can people find you online?
Yeah, you guys can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at FrontPageNews9. Also check out bitesizebreakdown.com for all of our film, TV reviews. We do top fives, we do articles, all that fun jazz. You guys should totally check it out. We're trying to build our brand as much as possible. Stay tuned. I have something very special coming your way on our YouTube channel, so I think you guys will be excited for that. But yeah, Ryan Gosling, call me. And yeah, guys, August 19th, stay tuned. Boston Badass is back, and I'm ready to make Rick what's his name? I don't even know. Rick Radis. He likes relish. I don't know. But he's about to call his mommy and beg her to make him SpaghettiOs after I kick his ass. So, yeah.
Pete, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at jpet1098. You can find me on Facebook at Jonathan Peck. I'm pseudo in the round. You find me like a movie Battleground where I'm judging, hosting, or even competing in the next couple weeks, or pretty much it depends on it. And I think I have sort of a special Pixar match in the coming days, so I don't know what exactly date. So keep an eye on that, TMG, and that's pretty much it at the moment.
May I bring up one more thing though?
Yeah,
I forgot to plug this one. So because of the tragic news of the Schmodown ending on season, after 9 seasons, I'm sorry, Paige. And hold your head up high. But I am doing a series of best of Schmodown events starting from season 1 on my YouTube. It's taken some time because I had some stuff I had to do over the week, but expect part 2 of season 1 very soon.
And then in season 8, he'll have the episode where I kick Ben Bateman's ass. So stay tuned for that one, guys.
It's going to be a long wait. Patience.
But yeah, that being said, you can find me on Take 3 hosting Rankum every Saturday night. You can also find me with Gone with the Wind this Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's for a Gone with the Wind special. We're going to be talking about all the Emmy nominations that came out last week. And you can also find me over on Full Metal hosting trivia. And yeah, but until next time, keep listening shit as I find the outro.
Watch
video.
Ryan Gosling movie, guys, because they're awesome. He's a great actor.
And thanks to you, that's over now, and you've ruined that for me.